Rivals Midwest analyst Josh Helmholdt, and we're here all this week talking with those prospects who likely would have been invited to the Rivals 100 5-Star Challenge that was supposed to be held in New Orleans this week. My guest today is Rivals 100 defensive end linebacker TJ Bollers. TJ would have been rather having this conversation in New Orleans, but always good to catch up with you. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Josh, for having me.
We had talked too about just where you've had some experience in some of these big showcase events. Saw you at the Rivals camp, I think, when you were still, maybe just a freshman still, and was able to compete against the big boys then. And then saw you here recently down in San Antonio at the All-American Combine. When you've gone to some of these national showcases and gone against other, Division I, Power 5 caliber prospects, I always feel one of the biggest positives of those types of situations is getting a chance to see where everybody else is, your competition. What has been the benefit of those types of events for you and your development?
I feel like those events are really beneficial, kind of like you said, towards development, because you're able to go up and you're able to see like the best guys, like there are guys that from all over the country that go to these events. And you may be the best guy in your state, but you don't know if you're going to be going up against the best guy in the nation or the worst guy in the nation. So it really just shows that you gotta bring it every single time. Like you can't take reps off, because maybe that rep that you take off, you're just going to get absolutely pounded into the ground. And then all of a sudden you're on somebody's highlight reel for the camp. You don't want to be that guy, but I really enjoy going to these camps, the experience, that I had at the Rivals camp back when I think I was a freshman going into my sophomore year, and the experience that I had at the All-American Bowl, at the All-American Combine, it was all amazing, went up against the best guys in the nation. It was something I don't take for granted.
Yeah, obviously the 5-Star Challenge is, essentially top 100 players, the best of the best, and 16 defensive linemen, 16 offensive linemen. You're kind of that, and obviously we'll talk a little bit about where you look to play when you go to Wisconsin. But you're obviously, we list you as a defensive end, at the very least a hybrid type of a guy who can play both linebacker and defensive end. But who are some of those offensive linemen around the country that, you were hoping to get a shot at, just to test yourself out and see what they got, see what you got here this offseason at events like the 5-Star Challenge?
Yeah, for sure. So there are a couple guys that went to the All-American Bowl that I was able to go up against, but there's some Midwest guys that I've been in contact with, like Teddy Prochaska. He was a guy that I was able to meet, and kind of become friends with throughout this whole recruiting process by going to Nebraska and all those visits there. Another guy is a name that popped up while I was at the All-American Bowl, Tristan Lay. He would have been someone that would have been really great to go against. He got ranked really, really fast after that All-American Bowl, because he showed up and he showed out, got the camp MVP and stuff like that. So, and then Nolan Rucci, someone that Wisconsin is after, that would have been another big one to go against, just to test myself. Is he a 5-star, right?
If not, he's very close to a 5-star, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, big names like that. Then the last one I feel like would have just been like J.C. Latham. I think it was either him or it was somebody else, but I think I have gone up against him before, and that's just a matchup that I'd want to see.
Formerly from the state of Wisconsin, J.C. Latham now plays at IMG Academy. But we've talked about Wisconsin a couple of times here. Obviously, you got the Wisconsin Badgers shirt on. Recent Wisconsin commitment. We've talked a lot about why Wisconsin was the right fit for you. What I want to know, you talk about going against Teddy Prochaska, committed to Nebraska. You're going to get that chance here when the two of you line up in the Big Ten West. But we have talked about the position, and you and I got a chance to get into a little bit about it around commitment time, but specifically talk about where Wisconsin is planning to start you off at. Was that your idea? Was that something you had brought up to them? Was that something they brought up to you? Because it's not really your traditional defensive end role, and it's, more of a outside linebacker role, if I understand correctly, right?
Yeah. So, talking with Coach April and Coach Bechterfield, they initially offered me as a defensive end. back. I think it was my sophomore year. You know, it was around like my sophomore spring. Um, that's where they initially offered me, and then after I came to the camp my sophomore year, going into my junior year, that's when they were like, "Hey, okay, so you know we're gonna move you to like an outside linebacker position. So you're gonna work more with Coach April and the outside linebacker." So Coach April, he really became, I don't know, the person that recruited me the hardest, along with Coach Leonard, and really the position that they want me to play. Like this isn't making like a comparison or anything, but like it's more of like how T.J. Watt played, or like Zach Bond, you know, a position like that. Someone that's really versatile, that's able to rush a passer, but also drop back into coverage, you know, and make those quick stunts and whatnot.
Yeah, and obviously when I saw you back in January, I mean, you looked leaner and longer, like more like that kind of outside linebacker. Obviously, this offseason's been an interesting one for every high school, college, NFL football player, just with the challenges that development has presented, not being able to do the normal workout things. But I've talked with your trainer JC a number of times. I know a little bit about what's been going on with you, but kind of talk about that. Where is your height weight right now? What things have you been focused on this off season? What have you and your trainer been working on? And what things do you expect those who saw you a year ago as a junior are going to be impressed with your development as a senior?
Right. So, you know, we've been putting in a lot of work. Really, that springtime was when it was all going on, because we play summer baseball here in Iowa, and you know, I'm out on the diamond, I don't know, every single day. So, you know, it's getting a little bit harder to kind of fit in workouts. But whenever I'm not playing, you know, I try and do the best I can to be able to get into the gym and whatnot. But you know, this spring we really hit it hard with some speed development and a lot of flexibility stuff. You know, so being able to bend the corner better. You know, and my dad, we worked on we work on a bunch of moves all the time. I have some new moves that I've been working on, you know, just instead of the traditional pass rush moves. You know, I've been studying a lot of film. Um, and I guess for this season, um, I guess this kind of goes towards like the competition in Iowa. You know, I'll kind of be like targeted as that guy. Like we need to block him. So I'll have a couple of guys on me, you know, whenever a play is started. So you know, just being able to make an initial pass rush move against my first guy, then get around the second guy, you know, as fast as I can, just be able to get to the quarterback and pressure him. Um, but uh, but yeah, you know, it's been endurance, it's been flexibility and speed. Those have been the big things, and then just, you know, some pass rush, just perfecting some stuff.
I want to ask you, you mentioned about the talent in the state of Iowa. It is definitely on an uptick here in the class of 2021 and beyond. I talk with, like I mentioned, your trainer JC is telling me about new young guys all the time that are coming out and he thinks have a real good chance. I believe it's 20 or more prospects in the state of Iowa's 2021 class hold Power 5 offers. I've done this for 17 years. That is the most I ever remember at the end of a cycle, let alone going into summer before senior season. What do you, I guess, for those people who think Iowa, cornfields, nothing out there, no good football, tell them what Iowa football is all about and why we're seeing this uptick in talent from the state.
Yeah, you know, Iowa football, it's hard, you know, like people are gonna they're just gonna a lot of teams are just gonna run it straight down your throats. You know, they're gonna be those teams where they run it the first three downs, and then if they don't make it, then they're gonna pass the ball, and that's when you gotta eat. So you know, going against teams like Mount Pleasant, that's the team that we play this year. It has Henry Lutovsky. He's committed to Nebraska. You know, having a guy like him on the O line, you know, they're able to just bulldoze just straight through people. So you really gotta work. You know, you gotta study your film. You have to have your guys sharp, know what's going on, so that, you know, people can't just move you back. Um, and a lot of the guys that have offers, a lot of the O linemen and a lot of the D linemen that have offers, all work out with JC. You know, like I've worked out with again Henry. You know, Dodge Sauser, he's someone, he committed to Iowa State, and then you know, Connor Colby, he comes through every once in a while, and we work out all together. You know, we do pass rush stuff. JC posts it on his Twitter a lot. Um, But just being able to work with those guys that have other Power 5 offers, it really helps me. It helps them, just to get better experience for the season and what's to come in college.
Well, I'll wrap this up with the question I'm sure Wisconsin fans ask you now every time you run across one. Recruiting never ends. So Wisconsin fans want to know who's the next? Who's going to be able to join? You guys already got a pretty strong bond there. We talked about your good friend Daryl Peterson, Hunter Wohler. I know you're close with several of the other commitments, but you guys are always kind of working just like they were working on you before you committed. You mentioned Nolan Rucci, or I think he's a guy that is kind of high on that list. But which guys do you talk with, and what's your pitch to them about why they should join you as a Wisconsin Badger?
Yeah, well, I was talking with Nolan the other day, and I'm trying to start a relationship with him. I know that his brother is out Wisconsin right now, so I guess that kind of gives us like another little foothold into that. But just being able to build a relationship with him, and then we have some other guys, RJ Reagan, and then we need some wide receivers. So I think Skylar Bell is another guy that we've been trying to go after. So just to those guys, like you guys need to feel the brotherhood that we have already in this 2021 class. Like I know a lot of people, they ask about the group chat that we have. The group chat's a big thing. Once you're serious, it boils down to that top 5, then we're going to put you into the group chat, because being at Wisconsin is something that's already important to us, and like the 2021 class that's committed. We want to be able to help the rest of the guys kind of push this team over the edge, get into that national championship talk and whatnot. So I feel like we have something special going on with this brotherhood and the camaraderie that we already have. And we're all just excited to finally be able to meet each other once we get to campus.
Well, TJ, it's always a pleasure chatting with you. And even though we didn't get a chance to do it down in New Orleans this year, we're looking forward to senior season for you. In the meantime, best of luck on the baseball diamond, and congratulations on your recent commitment.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.